Why, hello, welcome to the end of chapter 4, and we will probably start chapter 5 today. So, last time we read was that horrible track practice for Ghost. He fell, he got worked out by Coach because of the fight. He got trash talked to him. Man, rough day. And now Coach is driving him home, and he's trying to lay in the back of the cab. All right. If you sit back there, I got to treat you like a customer, kid, Coach said, starting the car. I didn't say nothing. Coach turned around in his seat and glared at me. Okay, and fine. I'm going to run the meter. If you're going to make me drive you home in silence, I might as well get paid for it. Still nothing from me. Nothing to say. All I could think about was how stupid it felt to crash and burn on the track like that on my first real day of practice, and how Brandon Simmons would have laughed me off the planet if he was there to see that, and how I had finally beaten him up for talking smack about me and would have done it again, and how Patty and Luce had said Lou was albino, and how she a white mother and ladders were the worst, 4 3 1 2 1 1 2 3 4 and water bottles, and how come I didn't know any of this, and how come everybody's shoes were so good, especially losing Patty's, and probably Usain Bolt's. Ghost has a lot of things running through his mind right now, right? I swear, I said to Coach, I almost broke my nose, kid. Sorry, I'm going to reread this. I swear, I almost broke my nose, kid. I just clipped the hurdle and dove face first to the ground. Despite his riding in silence comment, Coach was blabbering on, probably telling me a story, but I hadn't heard none of it. I wasn't really listening. He continued. So I know what it's like to be embarrassed in front of your teammates. Trust me. Tomorrow nobody will even remember. I heard that part. That tomorrow nobody would remember. I'm not sure if I believed it or not, but I knew what I could do to help the situation. In addition to the ladders, water bottles, white parents, albino thinking, I thought myself up a plan. When we pulled up in front of my house, Coach put the car in park. $20, he said, trying to lighten the situation. Coach? Nah, don't try to dash on me, he insisted. You done already robbed me for half a day's pay. But I paid you back already with all that sprinting I gave you earlier, I groaned. Coach did a double take. Oh, you thought that was from me? He pressed a finger to his chest. I shook my head and unlocked the door. After I got out, Coach rolled down the window. The car slowly drifted forward. Remember what I said, Ghost? He accelerated slightly. Tomorrow, it won't matter. It'll be a new day, a new chance. When I got inside my house, I didn't waste no time. I knew what I needed to do, and I knew that I had to do it before my mother got home and made me eat dinner and watch some sappy flick with her while she procrastinated doing her homework. See, besides working in a hospital cafeteria, she was also taking online classes. There were also textbooks in that big purse, trying to get her nursing degree. She always says she can't wait one day to trade that serving spoon for a stethoscope. In this house for a new one, not in Glass Manor. But she hated homework. I guess I get that from her. I dropped my backpack on the couch and headed straight for the kitchen. The drawer next to the stove was where my mother kept leftover duck sauce, soy sauce, chopsticks, menus, tapes, screwdrivers, but most importantly, all her coupons, organized and paper-clipped by product. Seemed like everybody was having a sale on ketchup, which is a good thing, because ketchup always made cafeteria food taste better, way better. Along with the coupons, all the other stuff were the scissors she used to cut those coupons. These weren't just regular scissors, though. Nope. These were hospital scissors. At least that's where my mom got them from. And they were big and shiny and heavy, like if a doctor cut somebody's arm off or something. He could just use these bad boys and Snip, snip, bye-bye, arm, which is why I knew they'd be perfect for what I needed them for. Uh-oh. What's he going to do with these scissors? Any ideas? I grabbed the scissors and sat down on the kitchen floor, using one foot to press against the heel of the other. I pushed my sneakers off. I yanked the laces out of both, so the floppy tongue fell forward like drawbridges coming down out of beat-up leather no-name fortresses. Because here's the truth. I was still so angry about what happened on the track, embarrassed. There was so much noise inside of me, so much of everybody's laughing. So starting with the left shoe, I took those big scissors and began cutting and cutting and cutting, performing my own kind of surgery. The blade sawing and slicing into the black leather until the high parts of my high tops were gone. Oh my God, can you visualize what he did? He took his high tops and cut off the tops so they were low tops like track shoes. He's not wearing Converse, but I'm guessing it would be like if he had these shoes and cut off the top, right? Or here, you see how these ones are cut off? I can't find any pictures of non-Converse cut, but that's what he did. He cut the tops of the shoes off so they would look more like everybody else's running shoes. Oh, ghost. Chapter 5. World record for the most runaways in a single day. I wonder if doctors were ever cut off somebody's arm or leg and afterward realize that they made a huge mistake, like totally blew it. Because that's definitely how I felt about low top and my high tops. But not until I got to school the next day. I was cool with my new shoes when I first did it. Walked around the house totally hype about how much lighter they were, which would definitely help me out on the track. But when I heard my mom at the door, I took them off and quick threw them in my room. I didn't really think she would notice that I cut my shoes in half, because she was usually so beat when she got home. She never noticed anything but the couch. But still, I wanted to play it safe just in case she was in a bad mood and saw that I pretty much threw half the money she paid for those sneakers in the trash, buried under styrofoam to-go containers all streaky and stinky with brown gravy and French dressing. She probably would have flipped out, and knowing her, she would have made me get the glue and the needle and thread and the stapler and some tape and made me try to fix them, all while giving me a speech about the value of $1. And that would have been even worse than her yelling at me or punishing me. Shoot. Maybe even worse than the ladders. I was even still good with the shoes the next morning, which I was really happy about because a lot of times when you sleep on something, your sleep for some reason causes your mind to change. I don't know why, but it does. But when I woke up the next morning wrapped in my blankets on the living room floor, I opened my bedroom door, peeked at my shoes as if they might have come to life in the middle of the night, and thankfully, all was still right with them. Even after I got dressed and put them on, I wasn't too worried because my jeans came down long enough to cover the raggedy top and make them look regular. What wasn't okay, though, were my legs. They still felt like they had been cut off in my sleep, stuffed with dynamite and hot peppers, and then reattached. So even though my shoes were covered, I couldn't hide the fact that I was walking like a senior citizen zombie, which I feared would draw unnecessary attention, which was the last thing I needed. When I got to school, I first looked around for Brandon Simmons, but he was nowhere to be found. The only reason I was checking for him was because he could always sniff out stuff like raggedy shoes or whatever. Not that he would have tried me 2 days in a row. If he did, he would have won because my legs were barely working. But he wouldn't test me. Not after what had happened at lunch. If anything, people might have been teasing him. But like I said, he wasn't around. Principal Marshall was, though, And the first thing he said to me was that this had better be an altercation-free day, followed by, "And Mr. Simmons won't be joining us. He's suspended." Which I have to say were the sweetest words I had heard in a while. I caught up with Dre in the hall for a few seconds. He assumed I was limping because of the fight, battle wound, and was telling me how everyone was talking about how I mopped Brandon, even the people who got chocolate milk splashed on them. "Bro, you like a hero," he said. "Like, you could run for class president right now and win. If you were into all that stuff." He threw his arm around me. "Picture that, President Cranshaw." "Whatever, man." I slipped out from under his arm, laughing to keep from wincing. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Me, Ghost, a hero. That is, until social studies.